And now on Showbiz India, it's my pleasure to welcome Bilal Kasmi from Sahara. Welcome to Showbiz India. It's great to see you.
Thank you so much, Reshma, for having us.
Let's talk about an important thing that Sahara is taking part in, which is spreading awareness about elderly abuse and hoping to prevent it. Talk about this cause to me.
Elder abuse is any single or repeated action within a relationship of trust which causes harm to an older person. Now, a lot of times, most of us think that when we think of elder abuse, we think of someone being physically assaulted in a assisted living facility. And this can be and is elderly abuse, but elderly abuse is far more encompassing. Elder abuse can be domestic violence, sexual assault, gender-based violence, financial exploitation, human trafficking, abandonment, neglect, as well as verbal and emotional abuse. The perpetrators of such violence can be other seniors, a senior spouse, partner, child, relative, caregiver, and even state agencies that are meant to support seniors, but in turn may discriminate against them because of language barriers. And these are the issues that Sahara works around to assist seniors that have been abandoned, abused, and neglected.
What does Sahara do to support these seniors?
Well, our approach to supporting elders that have been abused is a holistic method in which we focus not only on providing a solution to one problem, but providing long term case management. We work very closely with our seniors in providing them legal assistance, immigration aid, emergency housing. We help them to navigate social services. We provide in language counseling and therapy, as well as life skills training. We facilitate regular education workshops for our seniors through which they learn to become self reliant and independent. And as we are a nonprofit organization, all of our services are free.
And I believe they are confidential. So if anyone you know is being abused, or if you yourself are being abused, you can call up Sahara.
Anyone that seeks any type of assistance, they can reach us directly at 562-402-4132. We also have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hotline, which is 888-724-2722. And we speak Hindi, Urdu, Bangla, Punjabi, Gujarati, Tamil, and Telugu. Not only do we serve the South Asian community, but we serve other communities as well, too.
And you define elderly 55 and above, am I correct?
Yes.
And what have you seen change in this past year during the pandemic when it comes to elderly abuse?
The COVID-19 pandemic really hit the South Asian senior community really hard. Not only were they put at risk because of the virus, but we also saw a dramatic increase in issues of abandonment, abuse, and neglect. Just in 2020 alone, we served over 250 South Asian seniors in Southern California. Many undocumented South Asian seniors were out of work or were not receiving enough support and care within their families. Throughout the pandemic, we continued our services, provided emergency housing assistance. We worked with law enforcement to provide protection to those that had been abused. We provided financial relief and conducted in-home regular visits throughout the pandemic in order to reduce isolation. Furthermore, we were making sure and are continuing to make sure that our seniors are getting vaccinated and arranging for their vaccination appointments, as well as escorting them to the vaccination centers and sites.
So, are there any particular trends that you see particularly to our communities?
So what we're seeing right now is that there's definitely the South Asian elderly population is definitely growing. Statistically, seniors are within America across the board are becoming a huge demographic. So there's going to be a huge need of services of support for this growing demographic. Some interesting trends that are specific to the South Asian community that we see are that often elderly parents are brought over from South Asia thinking that they're going to come to America and retire in America and, live with their children. But they're often brought here to, become pretty much the caretakers of the family, cook, clean, take care of children. This leads to greater isolation and neglect. They're not able to get the services they need, which leads to further depression and mental health issues. We also see a lot of South Asians that are trafficked to America as labor migrants and are often working in an undocumented manner in some of our grocery stores, places of business where they're being exploited as well.
Oh, that's terrible. I see a lot of movies about that. Parents have been brought over and they become nannies or cared housekeepers, but it really happens.
Yes, it does. And oftentimes, those are only the situations where elderly South Asian person might have some family here. A lot of times they might have came here, when they were younger, and now they've ended up and they're alone or by themselves or been abandoned, and they're trying to get by with very limited English skills, not really knowing their rights, not having basic knowledge of life skills on how to live a healthy and independent lifestyle. So that's where we would come in and assist. So we really see issues from all different social stratas within the South Asian community. Elder abuse, neglect, and abandonment aren't specific to any particular social class within the South Asian community, from those that are undocumented to the most affluent members of society. We see these type of dilemmas throughout the board.
Thank you for shedding so much light on this subject. Thank you for doing the great work you do for our communities and preventing elderly abuse and to support those who have been abused. So once again, this message is to anyone out there who's listening. If you know anyone, if you yourself have been abused, please pick up that phone and call this number on the screen. It is completely confidential.
We speak Hindi, Urdu, Bangla, Gujarati, Punjabi, Tamil, and Telugu. All calls that are taken are confidential. We understand that there's a great deal of stigma in the community when it comes to reaching out to help. If a person has been abused or knows one that is being abused, people are frightened. They're afraid for their safety. They are afraid of being shamed, and there's so much stigma. So we definitely take all of that into account. All of our services are confidential, and we want you to know that Sahara is here and we are listening.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Bilal, for being on.
Thank you, Reshma, for taking out the time.